Welcome to the Everyday GSD podcast. Today's special guest is a good friend of mine and a talented motherfucker, Tommy Baldwin. Tommy, I got so much on your resume here. I'm not even going to touch on it because we're going to just dive right in. You have a new album a new single being released.
Yeah. So it's actually just gonna be like a series of songs because nobody goes and buys a fucking whole record anymore and sits down to listen to it and opens up the vinyl and whatever. Kind of connects with it anymore. So
I do, by the way.
That's good.
Yeah.
I do. Well,
Justin does. Justin does. So I want to talk about that, but we're gonna start from the beginning. But it's been a fun day though. We had a special guest that came in earlier.
Yeah.
That he was not on the show, but he is going to have his own podcast eventually. He's working on it. Justin, my producer, brought him in here. He's got this T-shirt company called GOAT, Greatest of All Tees, and it's great material. And no, I'm not getting paid to say this, but Doug Bright, and this is his shirt. So look him up on Google or wherever you find your favorite T-shirts. And I was thankful that he came down, got a little tour of the studio, got to meet you. I think he's pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
And cool shirt.
Good guy.
Yeah, real good guy. Okay, but the show's about you, man.
I don't mind sharing. It's fine.
Yeah. You know what? I met you a while ago.
Yeah.
And first time I heard you play, you were done playing, then we had a beer after. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this fucking guy is talented.
Thank you so much.
This guy should be somewhere not in Indiana, I feel like. And I said to you, I go, hey man, have you ever thought about going out to California and playing? And he looked at me and laughed. So on that note, let's start off with what got you into the music world.
Yeah.
And then I'd like you to talk about your faith. And you lost your father when you were younger. Yeah. And then we're going to talk about your career in music and how fucking awesome you are.
Thanks so
playing
much.
Jimi Hendrix behind your head
With the wireless, walking down to the pool.
Yeah, right on. Okay, so Tommy, you're up, buddy.
Oh man. Well, hey, my name's Tommy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. My name's Tommy. I drink wine.
Something like that. A little more of that too. No. But yeah, man. Oops, I did it.
You started when you were 14 years old?
No, I started when I was 10.
10 years old?
Actually, well, really, when I was 8, a friend of mine had a guitar in his closet that his brother had smashed. I mean, it was like this piece of shit, total piece of shit. And, I'm like super young. We're gaming and shit, at the original Xbox days and shit, whatever. And I pulled out of his closet. I'm like, what is this? Like half the body's missing. Like this thing is fucking dangerous. Like if you would have dropped it on your foot, like you would have definitely had to get a couple stitches. And so... And it only had 3 strings on it, and I'm kind of just screwing with it, and just all of a sudden just fell in love with it. And within 5 minutes, we're all switching turns or whatever, and it became to my turn. I go, no, you can pass me on this one, and I just sat there and figured it out. And so I ended up spending the whole rest of the night screwing with this guitar. And by the end of it, when my parents came and picked me up, I'm like, well, here's your guitar back, and they're like, well, you can just keep it. I'm like, I can? Are you serious? Like, I really? And it was like. Yeah, like, the definition of another man's trash is another man's treasure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I get in the car and my dad, I get in the car and my dad was, he's born 1953, so he's not afraid to say anything. So he looks back at me and I have this guitar, I'm just putting my seatbelt on, whatever and shit. And he goes, what the fuck is that? And I go, this is my new guitar. What do you mean? And so... Long story short, that following Christmas, Santa brought me a guitar, and and then.
Do you still have the old guitar, the first guitar?
I did. I think I smashed it too. I think friends of mine, when I had a good time, were like, "Well, you know what? I don't know."
Yeah.
Not anymore though. But so anyway, Santa brought a guitar that following Christmas. They let me believe way too long for that, by the way. But something broke on that guitar. A year later, I'm like 9.5. And my dad goes, well, we'll just have to take it back to Sam Ash. And I go, I thought Santa brought it, and start crying and shit. And like that's how I found out Santa would raise through guitar and music and
through
shit.
Sam Ash.
Through Sam Ash. Yeah. Thanks, Sam. No. And then, so anyway, I play all by ear. I'm self-taught primarily. And so I would just listen to, at the time, like Green Day or whatever, rock or Metallica or whatever. And YouTube had first just came out. So I would watch people's hands. And I would tune exactly how they would tune, and I would just watch their hands, and I would mimic what they would do. Excuse me. And so that's how I learned songs. And I would just literally, kind of like the old days of when you would put a vinyl, you would put it, and like go, oh, what was that part? On digital, you can just rewind it and be, just keep going over and over again until you get it. And that's how I learned by ear. And then, I'm sorry
to interrupt, but
no, you're fine.
But I've got a question. So when you say you learn by ear,
mm-hmm.
you're also legally blind, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm like a fucking bat.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I feel like I've heard that. So how does that work? And I'm being naive because I don't know. And I'm sure my listeners want to know, how does that work? So does that help you learn by ear better because your senses are more
probably heightened in my ears? Yeah. Cause without my glasses, I can't see shit. I mean, everything's just a big blur, I can see colors and things, but zero definition. I mean, it's like negative 4K. I mean, seriously.
Right.
And, so by playing by ear, really listening and paying attention to where I've been going up versus up then down, just little subtle nuances, after my parents saw my dedication to the music, they go, well, how would you feel about getting a better guitar and, inspire you again to keep, learning and playing. And so they would take me to Sam Ash after school, whatever. And I found this Epiphone SG, which looks just like Angus Young's guitar from AC/DC. And I saw it on the wall. It was like that Spinal Tap moment where it's like, on the fucking wall and the light comes down on it. And so anyways, I would go play it. I played that guitar for like 2 or 3 months. And then November of 2006, after school, they just took me one day and I'm just sitting there playing it. All of a sudden the guy comes over and just cuts the tag off. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Right? Like what, cause when we pulled in, like I was already screaming, like I already knew what was going down, but they pull the guitar down and like, I'm kind of just like, oh, okay, cool. Like we're just going to play it. It's cool. And he came over and cut that tag off. I'm like, no fucking way. I'm just like, oh my God. And then a month later, unfortunately, 6 days before Christmas, my dad passed away of a heart attack. And totally fucking sucked. And his funeral was 2 days before Christmas. So, happy fucking New Year to that. No. And so anyways, it was just, crazy as hell. But ever since then, I looked at the guitar and I'm like, I'm going to fucking master this for my dad, for music, for myself, and for my family, and just go, it was like I knew in that moment that that's what my life is supposed to be, all about and what I'm doing. And, part of take something shitty and making the best of it, literally,
Right.
And fucking losing our house and all this crazy shit. We went from like a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house and basement and big ass kitchen and whatever to like a fucking 2-bed apartment with a 2-bed 2-bath apartment, and like we lost all of our shit and the movers threw all of our shit away. So it's like trying to kind of re-find out who I am during that time too, and it was insane as hell. It was fucking horrible, but here we are.
But you're an everyday GSD motherfucker.
Yeah, baby.
So you learn on this guitar. And Justin, you had a question, Justin?
Oh, are you one of those sort of people I hate that are naturally talented and you just pick it up and you could do it, or has it been hard for you to learn? Do you study it?
I don't know. I from the moment I touched the 3-string broken guitar in half, it was like I touched that instrument and it was like, bam. Literally, I just knew. Literally, it just fucking happened, and that's why I was like,
yeah, something's
calling me here, know.
And your mom is a musician,
mm-hmm.
a well-known musician, for sure locally.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And she has played with you.
Mm-hmm.
You've had her in your band, or you guys were a duo at one point.
Sure, yeah. We had a duo called we still do have a duo called Baldwin to Baldwin, God. But when I was 14, I actually played in her wedding band called Double Exposure, and it was like a fucking 8 to 12 piece horn sections and 2 guitar players, and I mean it was a production, man. And you should have seen the speakers we had for this thing. I mean it was like. It was taller than all of us, and it was just it sounded amazing. But, we played the Marat, or like the Potentate Ball, the Egyptian Room, the place on the Circle Center. It's the Columbia Club downtown.
Yeah.
And just really high, posh, really cool events and weddings, and top of the Skyline, or the Skyline Club too. But the other tower, the main tower downtown
exactly
Indianapolis.
yeah,
and just really cool things like that, and it would inspire the shit out of me. Go, I want to do this with my own music. I really want to do this with my own,
right.
Because
now, is your dad alive during this time or no?
No,
Okay.
Nope. He never got to see me play. He never got to see me play.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he inspired you, I guess, your passion to, I'm going to do this for myself and for my dad.
Yeah. Well, primarily when Dad passed, I was like, I'm going to master this, for you. And then also, it was also like, I kind of had no choice. It wasn't like, I'm going to do this for you, man. It was like, oh my God, how do I cope with this? And just not talk and play for 8 hours a day, literally. Right. And fuck homework and anything else I've got going on, literally.
And you said we were talking earlier, you actually, and I'm probably going to fuck this up, and anyone listening who knows more about this than me,
you're fine.
Is going to be like, you jackass. So you saw your dad after he died?
Yes, I did. I swear to God I did, yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't need to swear to God. I believe you because you're, I know you. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Share that story.
Shortly after he passed, and so this is 2007 now, so, like I said, happy fucking New Year to all this. I believe in January, February of 2007, we're at a place called Marco's Steakhouse, and as you said, cheap meat night,
Meat night.
Yeah, man.
What is it, Justin?
Cheap meat night. I used to have the thing we do at the Carmichael at 4. We have the social work network events. I used to do it every Tuesday at Marco's for that $10 filet. And
oh yeah, it was
I
badass.
host a big table of people to hang out.
Networking.
It was a great place.
It really was. I can't believe it's gone. Yeah. It's gone. But anyways, I'm looking out the window, and we're out with some friends of ours that are kind of just helping us grieve and just take our mind off of anything, And I look out the window, and my dad is standing, I swear to God, in a white sport coat with a beige vest, khaki pants, next to a orange raised dumpster. And he's like,
and this orange raised dumpster is really there or no?
No, it's really there. Yeah,
okay.
But he's standing next to it, and he's iridescent, and I can see through him. But I can see him standing there, but I can see through him, I swear to God. And when I made eye contact with him, you know how people say your third eye? It was like this message went bam, and it felt like I had on headphones. And my dad said, I am so sorry I can't be there for you. Take care of your mother, and do not ever stop playing your music. And I jumped the fuck up, go out there, and he's gone. I mean, this is like a Hallmark movie or some shit. And I go out there, and he's gone. I'm like bawling.
Or a scary movie.
I mean,
fucking Hallmark. Fucking the hair on my neck is standing up.
No, but I come
I believe you.
Yeah.
I don't think you're crazy. Most people would tell me that, and I would think they're just crazy.
Yeah.
I believe you, though.
I believe you because I know you.
Yeah.
Like I believe you. It's fucked up.
It was crazy.
As fucked up as I sound right now, I believe you.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I come back inside bawling, and I'm like, Mom, I just saw Dad. I swear to God, he was standing right there. But
she's and like, put down the weed.
And I haven't even got to that yet, man. Shit. I was too young and just I don't know. But fuck, man. But in that moment, I'm like, God's real. I'm gonna do that, like literally, and just bam. In that moment, I'm like, God's real, heaven's real. It was so comforting, but at the same time, so sad because I was like, oh man, I wanted one more word to say to him. It was like, fucking heart pulling thing. Excuse me, but I came back in, and she was like, you just had your first real experience with God, and I'm like, through your dad. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
And that following, I think Easter around my birthday, I got baptized. I was like, yep, absolutely, let's do it, let's go for it. Why not?
And I've known you for a while, and I know that you have very good faith.
Yeah.
But you don't push it, or you never.
No.
You wouldn't, unless you really know you wouldn't know that.
Sure.
And I've known you for a while now, and again, I'm. It's an honor to have you on the show.
No, it's an honor to be here, brother.
It's yeah. When you told me about that one, I was like, what? Tell me about this third eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you talking about? So you're about how old when this happens?
I was 10 going on 11, yeah.
Okay. So you're jamming on the indie scene at this point. You're starting to play in the indie. Are you moving outside of the wedding parties now? Or?
Well, I hadn't gotten to the wedding stuff, so that was 10 to 11, and then so that moment, my mom was like, "Well, if you learn all my music and all of Double Exposure's music, then we'll hire you as a guitar player." And so I fucking did, and I was like, "Bet, watch, give me 2 weeks, and I'll have 70 songs down or whatever." And even if I don't, like, I'll just still do octaves and rhythms, and because once again, as long as I know what key I'm in, if I'm in the key of A, I know my scale, and I can improvise and play along or whatever and do the chords and everything.
It's crazy.
If I hear one note where what the bass is playing, I'm in.
I still remember when you played Jimi Hendrix, the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
At my party several years ago.
Yeah.
People were crying. Like it was like they were listening to the national anthem.
Yeah.
That's how they felt because I had you open up the party with that.
Yeah.
And man,
that was an honor too to do that.
No, it was an honor to have you, but yeah, we're just patting each other's backs.
So much mutual love, man. That's what life's all about, man.
Justin,
Seriously.
what you got? Tell us something, Justin. Okay, so you're 10, 11 years old. At what point do you decide, and I don't want to jump too far forward because I want the meat and potatoes of this, but at what point do you say, I got to break off and do this on my own?
So when I was 14, I was playing.
And I use that word loosely on your own.
Sure. 14, I was playing in the wedding band, etc., and doing my own, starting to write my own music and stuff. And so when I turned 15, I had gotten a laptop and made my own music on GarageBand, which is the first DAW, which stands for Digital Audio Workstation, which is like a studio.
Say that again.
DAW, D-A-W, Digital Audio Workstation. Say that 20 times fast.
I can't say it once. It's my first glass of wine.
But so I learned how to use that, and I would write my own music, just plug into the computer, and just it would sound like crap, but it would still I got songs down and to where I sold my like EP demo thing in high school, and so I got together with some friends of mine. I was like, hey, would you learn this one and play it? And so I had Marcus Handy, who was actually W.C. Handy's, who wrote a thing called the Memphis Blues, which is a very famous old Delta. Would you say Delta Blues or? Do you know who W.C. Handy is?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Delta Blues for sure.
Yeah. So
Justin knows everything and everybody.
So his great grandfather wrote the Memphis Blues, W.C. Handy. So Marcus Handy, and it's funny, Handy because they're piano players, no pun intended.
Oh, literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
And so I got Marcus Handy, who was a phenomenal, unbelievable keyboard player, Scott Winty, Ryan McMahon, and myself. And we did our first little concert show at the Emerson Theater when it was like, it was so bad. I mean, no, we played great, but the first thing we do when we set up on stage, he goes, hey, don't put your keyboard up, because he's got like a fucking Yamaha motif, which weighs like 120 pounds, like as much as I do practically. And he's like, make sure you don't put your keyboard over there because you'll fall through the stage. Excuse me. He was like, you'll fall through the stage. And you could see where it was like warping and cracking and bending, and you could tell it was just about to go, man. And we were just sitting there like, what the fuck is this place? And like the wall was like coming down and the paint was coming off. I mean, it just looked like it was about to collapse on us,
Yeah.
And so, but we played an amazing show. And ever since then, I was 15 years old. And ever since then, I was like, here we go.
It's my career.
This is it. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
It's amazing because I'm not going to read through your resume because it's too crazy. But I'm going to have you touch on a lot of these musicians that you've played with.
Yeah.
But you would think you were 60 years old, being able to have played with this much talent. So, what makes you go out to California?
So, every time that I've ever like done a really cool, successful show or set or moment or jam or whatever, everybody's always gone, "What are you doing here?" And I'm going, "Well."
That's when you met me, right? And I say, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, what are you doing here, man? I'm like, "Well." Because I like.
You're like, I just
too.
got back from California, jerk.
Oh no, no.
Yeah.
But there's a thing called the NAMM show, and it stands for National Associations. If I can fucking say it, National Associations of Music and Marketing, right? And so practically, what the NAMM show is, it's everything you can think of to do with a microphone like this, or anything to do with audio production, guitars, bass, anything to do with music instruments or artists, right? And so they fly out everybody, or they have people come in and play at their booth, and it's a gigantic trade show practically, and it features the new whatever coming out, right? And so they once again, have all the artists play, and so they had my favorite guitar player, Eric Gales, play with another guy named Tomo Fujita, and I just wanted to go out here, by the way, Anaheim, California, to network market. You never know what can happen, and I'm just praying to God, going, let's, hopefully something can happen and capture lightning in a bottle. You never know. And so I go out to there, and I find out on the app, there's an app for the NAMM show, and it says Eric Gales and Toma Fujita. And Toma Fujita is a guitar instructor at Berklee School of Music who also taught John Mayer while he was there for his, 6 to 8 months or however long he was there for. And so this is at the Eminence speaker booth. And so Eminence is a great company that makes speakers for guitar amps and et cetera.
Do they sponsor you?
No, they don't.
No. Because you have a lot of sponsors too.
I do, yeah. Thank God.
Talk about that later.
But, and so anyways, I got there like an hour early. I'm like, I'm not going to miss this for the world. And so I get there and I'm sitting there for like an hour, and my buddy John Sluss and I go out to Anaheim, California to the NAMM show and to this, specific booth as far as on the app. I'm like, we gotta see Eric. So, and if you don't know Eric is a unbelievable guitar player who plays left hand upside down like Jimi Hendrix did. And it's unbelievable, amazing guitar player. And so anyways, so they start playing, and I'm like first row from like me to you, literally. And they're playing, it's Eric and Toma is that camera over there. And I'm just sitting there going, this is unbelievable. They play for half an hour, 45 minutes. So anyways, they're like, hey, you know what? Thanks for coming. We're going to be back there selling CDs. And I'm like, oh no, because I realized I'm the first person, but when I turn around, I was the dead fucking last person. So, but when I turn around though, a guy named Doug Pinnick is right behind me. And so Eric Gales, Doug Pinnick, and another drummer named Thomas Pridgeon have a band called PGP, which is an amazing band who my favorite, my drummer's favorite drummer at the time was Thomas Pridgeon, and my favorite guitar player was Eric Gales. And so Doug Pinnick was the bass player and singer. And so I had never even heard of King's X, and so which is Doug's main band. And so I turn around and I go, that's the bass player for PGP. I'm like, well, I'll never get to meet Eric, but I'm going to go say hey to Doug, And so I walk up to Doug, and I just, I told him in a nutshell, I was like, hey, man, I appreciate the way you play bass. You can sing your fucking ass off. This is awesome. I think you're badass. Great to meet you. My name's Tommy, et cetera. He goes, what are you doing here? I go, well, I love blues. Lost my dad when I was 10. Love Eric. And, this line's too long. I don't want to mess with him because I'm sure by the time I get up to him, he'd be like, be done, because there's a fuckload of people. And I don't like to just wait and bother people and shit. I'll just walk away and go, well, that's cool. Take it for what it's worth. So anyways, he goes, well, fuck this line. I'm in a band with him, and grabbed my hand and walked straight through everybody and goes, Eric. And he's in the middle of signing the autograph, and he looks up and goes, what's up, Uncle Doug? And gave me a huge fucking hug and finished signing the autograph, gave the CD back. And then here's everybody here. Here's Doug and I. And he goes, what's up, guys? We just started talking. And Doug was like, hey, this is my buddy Tommy. I just want to introduce you real quick. I was passing by. Wanted to introduce you to him, and had remember everything I told him, kind of told him in a nutshell. And was like, hey, man, great to meet you, brother. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, literally, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And so I shook Eric's hand. He was like, you want a CD, man? I was like, I'd love, sure, that's great. He pulls my, he goes, don't tell anybody now. He looks at everybody that's waiting for him to get done or whatever, kind of winks, and opens up the thing, starts signing, goes, I'm so sorry, what's your name again, man? I go, Tommy, man, no problem. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, and shuts the CD. I still have the CD too. He shuts the CD. Still has the CD. And hands it back. He's like, well, I got to keep doing my thing, man, and gives me a big hug and gives Doug a hug. And it's like, great to meet you practically, and then kind of walk away, and he keeps doing his thing. And so Doug's manager at the time is there too, so we both step away, and I'm just sitting there with my big John Sluss like, well, isn't this fucking cool? That's great. Even if this is the coolest thing that's happened at NAMM, we're off to a great start or whatever. And then Doug comes back over and says, what are you guys doing for dinner? And that was it, man. And so we're walking through NAMM to go eat, because we're all like, by the way, NAMM is just, it's amazing, but it's fucking hell because it's so damn. Have you ever been to NAMM, Jess? Oh my.
Yeah, I mean, trying to get through there is, forget about it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, it's insane, the amount of people that are in there. But anyways, Doug Pinnick and I are, and then he's like, you got to walk fast now. And this motherfucker's like, he's really tall. He's got these super long legs. So when he's walking fast, I mean, he's like, boom, boom. I'm like,
you're like a little kid next to him.
Well, I know, really.
Scooting around.
I'm jogging and shit.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, the bass player from a band called Living Color, Doug Wimbish, goes, hey, Doug. And He's like, what's up, man? And they start like talking. He's like, man, I just came out with a new pedal. And Doug is like, I just came out with a new fucking guitar head or with a bass head. And Doug Pinnick's or Doug Wimbish's booth that makes his own signature head or whatever is right here. So they get up and start jamming, and a fucking gigantic crowd of people form around. I'm literally like, here's Doug. There's Doug Wimp. Sorry, here's Doug Wimbish. And like I'm like just right there looking like what is like here's another lightning moment, you know what I mean? And there's like a sea of people watching them just get up and jam and just start. It was totally impromptu, you know, just fuck it, why not, you know? And they can because they're the artist. And it was just so cool just to stand there and look, go, wow, isn't this something? And so when they get done with that, Doug grabs Doug Wimbish and goes, now we're going to mine. And then we walk all the way down to Tech 21, and they start jamming there too. And like, it's a sea of people following us. Like, you know, I don't know, John Mayer's walking through the thing. I don't know, but it was just like everybody was following us. It was crazy as hell. Like, I don't know. It was one of those, you know, the movie Almost Famous.
Yeah,
it was like one of those fucking moments where just like, what is, you know, kind of a thing. So, sorry if I'm talking too much, by the way, but
that's the whole point of the show, brother.
Right.
I'm just here to listen and just draw it out of you.
Yeah,
right, Justin.
Absolutely,
draw it out of you.
But it was insane, man. So, anyways, they got done with that, got to hang with Doug Wimbish and talk to him, and then so after that, we finally get to the Hilton lobby or whatever, and so we have dinner. I kind of tell him more about my dad and. Being a blues guitar player.
Did you tell him about that you saw your dad by the orange dumpster too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything.
Told him the whole thing.
Everything. Yeah. He's like, no, I believe you. He's like, I absolutely believe you too. And you know, and it was crazy as hell. But so he was like, I really want to hear you play and sing. And so I went the next day to his booth. He was like, come to my booth early in the morning before NAMM even opens up. I'll give you a little yellow card or whatever. And so they did. And went in and played and sang for him and kind of soloed or whatever and told him Hendrix and, you know, Peter Frampton, Jeff Beck. Jeff Beck's my number one guy, but all those guys are like my favorite guitar players. And so he was like, I got to hear you play and sing then, man. So I did the next day, and he was like, okay, you're from where now?
Yeah, he's like, you're for real, but you're from where?
Yeah, I know. And Indianapolis, he's like, we got to get you the fuck out of Indianapolis. I'm like, okay, sounds great to me, you know. And so he thought of a project, you know, to kind of get me on or to sing or be a part of something to where I could come out and record and just, you know, be on something to where here's the guy, you know. And he quoted, he was like, either I'm going to throw you to the wolves and either you'll run with the pack or you're going to get eaten alive. I'm like, let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Get it, you know.
I like that saying, Justin.
Yeah. And so, anyways, the rest of the NAMM, I practically just hung out with Doug and got to just meet everybody through him. And so last day of NAMM, we left Sunday to go up to kind of explore Los Angeles, and just because I'd never been. And
now, are you with your?
So with my buddy John Sluss and I went.
Okay.
Yes.
So no family.
No family. No. Nope.
Okay. And how old are you about this time?
I am 18.
18.
I just graduated high school. Yeah.
And your mom's back in Indiana.
Yeah.
And nervous as shit about you being out there.
No, she's like, go. She's like,
okay,
go.
Cool.
She's like,
Support.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, practically. She's like, you know, you're my baby and I love you, but you know, you can't stay here practically, you know.
Right.
And so and also my lovely now wife, high school sweetheart, but they were both like, go. You know,
wife and mom of how many children now?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a special announcement at the end of this too. You never know.
Oh shit.
But
not again, man. Not again.
Oh yeah. I'm drinking on that one.
Apparently, maybe a little too much.
Yeah, I think the show's over. We're out.
Not at all. It's just getting going now, baby. No. No. Anyway, so Doug meets us at the place called the Rainbow, which is a very famous restaurant that Ozzy Osbourne / Guns N' Roses, all these guys hang out at. Lemmy from Motorhead and all these guys hang out at. And so, you know, we eat and have dinner and hang out. And he's like, all right, I'm going to get you on a project and you'll be back here within, you know, a couple months or so. Is that okay? I'm like, I'll fucking be here tomorrow if you need me, you know. So he calls me and says, so we just got the green light from the Jimi Hendrix estate to do a Jimi Hendrix tribute record. Do you want to be the guitar player and whatever production element we need? And I'm like,
what the
absolutely.
Fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm
if you're listening to this and can't see me, all the hair on my arms are standing up.
Yeah. And so
and they don't even fucking know you.
No, well, they just trusted
Right.
Doug. Doug was like,
Yeah, like,
Doug, you
what
do
the
it.
fuck?
You figure it out. You do your own band. We trust you. And so he calls me and says, "You ready?" Dun, 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 and just Superman goes through the fucking roof like, "Yep." No, literally. And
No, literally.
and so
I almost want to stop and say this all over again so I get that same tingly feeling. What the fuck?
Yep. Man, it was
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
no.
digress.
And so
His face.
no.
Holy shit.
And so I fly out, and we're working with a guy named Michael Parnan at Black Sound Studios. And shout out to Michael Parnan, love you, dude.
Make sure he watches this episode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll make sure they all do. But and Mike Hansen on drums, Reinhold. I'm gonna botch your last name, brother. I can't say it. But great, amazing saxophone player. Played with Ray Charles and a bunch of other people too. Practically just this badass band together. Mike Hansen, who played with Hurricane, Bruce Boulier, Paul Gilbert, just fucking everybody, and amazing. And then Tracy, Tracy Singleton, who played with a band called Fishbone, and a bunch of other bands as well too. That was our band, and Michael Parnan also worked with like Christina Aguilera. American Idol, just tons of projects and stuff that he was doing, and he was in Pasadena by the Rose Bowl. That's where the Rose Bowl is at, right? Yeah, Pasadena. Yeah, and so
Don't you like we always look at Justin for the answer?
well, yeah, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I can feel him too, going, yep, nope, nope, yep. So, anyways, yeah, man. So we're working, and during the studio. This is how I really learned how to drink some tequila, man. Oh, shit.
And you're 18 at this point?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
18, 19. No, now I'm 19 at this point. Now. Yeah, right. I know, yeah. Oh, yeah. Another brain cell's gone, but no. But so anyways, no, I mean, so we recorded that for about 2 or 3 weeks or about a month. And Michael Parnan got a hold of Eddie Kramer. Eddie Kramer is the original engineer and producer for Jimi Hendrix. And so
he's shaking his head. He knows.
And so, so we did a song called "Crosstown Traffic."
You're fucking blowing our minds right now.
And so, so when they did the song called "Crosstown Traffic," it sounds like a kazoo, but how they got that kazoo sound was you take wax paper and you just put it over a comb and you just like gently kiss it, and go boo, and it makes that horrible bee sound. And that's what we did. And we sat there dying laughing, going, we look so fucking stupid right now doing this. But it was the exact sound that we got out of that that was on the record in 1967 or 66, whatever, 68, whatever, when that song came out. But we're just sitting there laughing, going, what other dumb shit are we going to have to do to get the Jimi Hendrix sound, you know what I mean, from Eddie Kramer or whatever. And
right.
It was just fun and just a total, memory thing. But got to sing background vocals too, and just great production elements and things, and play guitar, and it was amazing. And I've got a whole cassette, vinyl, CD, and like the things from the whole project not even opened up yet in my closet.
That's amazing.
And they only did a limited run, like 500 of them or something like that, and they sold out within like a month.
Yeah, like a minute.
What? over time, because at first when they started selling the CD, it was a business. Not infringing or something like that, but then we're like, no, you're fine. You can sell it. Just give, I don't know how
like some percent of the foundation.
Sure. Yeah, I think so. But the little Hendrix estate dot is on it, and there's my name on the rider. I'm like, I can't fucking believe this.
That's amazing.
And after that, Doug took me practically underneath his wing and mentored me, and he then played bass and produced my record. And then he took me on tour.
What was the name of your record?
Phases. Like
Phases,
yeah, like Phases of Your Life, PHASES.
And if I wanted to buy that, where would I buy that now?
iTunes, which is preferable.
Yeah. It's his first glass of wine too, by the way.
But Spotify and YouTube, and you get a fucking tenth of a cent on a stream of that, and
right.
So that's kind of fun. I mean, if you want to listen to it, that's fine. I'm not complaining, but if you want to support the artist, go buy it. Seriously, go buy it. But then he took me on tour with a guy named Corey Glover from a band called Living Color. Once again, Living Color again, which is, little did I know, when that first day I met Doug and Doug Wimbish, I would be on tour with the singer from the same band.
Justin's just shaking his head.
No,
Justin's been in the music industry for so long and played with some very, very top open for a lot of big names, and he's just if you could just have a camera on him right now.
I don't have stories like this shit. I got a couple, but
one day you'll share those.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Behind the fucking scenes, Justin.
There you go. But so he took me under his wing, and I lived with him, and that's where he had a home studio and everything, and so that's where we did the.
And where's this, in LA?
Yes, this was in Arcadia, California at first. Yeah. And then we moved, helped him move to Lake Balboa in the valley.
Okay.
And gorgeous fucking place. I mean, I love California so much. Everything. I won't go down that road, but everything else is great. But it really is the land of music opportunity. Going, hey, can you do this in 2 hours? Bam, here's 3 songs. Gotcha. Bam. It's just that quick, fast pace that opens up the door to a whole different new opportunities that, play with whoever to propel yourself or whatever, or somebody else that you can be a part of. And it's a really great, great community. And so then we started doing all the jams. So when I lived with Doug Pinnick, we started doing all the jams. So it was called Ultimate Jam Night in a place called the Lucky Strike, which is a fucking bowling alley with a stage.
He knows
it. Yeah. And that's where I got to play with everybody on that list practically. And
I didn't read the network. I didn't read the list, but if you want to just rattle off a couple names in your story, that'd be cool for the audience.
Last time I was at Lucky Strike, it was Slash, Johnny Depp, Duff McKagan. I mean, dudes like that hang out at this fucking place. Just go up there and play.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And Tommy.
And Tommy Baldwin.
Fucking Tommy Baldwin. Tommy Baldwin, who volunteers and fucking plays at the VFW that we all hang out at.
Yeah, baby.
To support veterans.
Amen.
This fucking guy's doing it. Fucking playing behind his head. Like, I can't even make this shit up, man.
But yeah,
fucking wild.
It's been crazy, man. God's been great. God's been amazing, and I give him all credit because I just show up and just go, I can't fucking believe I'm right here right now doing this.
So you're playing at would you say Lucky Strike?
Yeah, Lucky Strike. Yep.
Lucky Strike.
Like a strike for bowling.
For bowling.
And so the first night I show up, my buddy Robert Knight, who's a legendary photographer for Aerosmith, Jeff Beck, Led Zeppelin. I mean, everybody who you ever think of who was ever somebody, and from 60s to now practically was their photographer. And so anyways, he's there. And so he got me into this group called Brotherhood of Guitar when I was 15 for like this endorsement by Guitar Center, Fender, all this stuff. So I got to be shot for Guitar Center when I was 15 too. Forgot about that part, I guess. And this is way before Doug and everything. But anyway, so fast forward now back to when I'm at Lucky Strike. He's there and he goes, well, what are you doing here? I go, I'm playing. What do you mean? And he's like, oh, great. He's like, that's awesome. How'd you get in? I go, I know him. And I pointed at Doug and he goes, it's like being facetious. Because everybody knows who fucking Doug Pinnick is in Los Angeles and King's X and their whole history. And oh my God, man. Dude, when I found out who King's X was, I'm like, how the fuck have I never heard this in my life? I mean, it's literally, it's like Alice in Chains meets the Beatles meets the funk groove. I mean, it's amazing. Fucking unbelievable, man. So anyways, I'm playing with Doug and I look at the list and on drums, Kenny Aronoff. On guitar, Louis Matoyer. On other guitar, Tommy Baldwin. On bass and vocals, Doug Pinnick. I'm like, I'm playing with Kenny Aronoff and Louis Matoyer and Doug. And I on the first night, and it's kind of it's not an open jam at all. You have to know, it's all pre, everything. And so
I don't just show up with my guitar and get to play.
Hell no.
Hell
they
no.
tell your ass to get the fuck out.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
Or buy a drink and watch the show. You know what I mean? It's that like woo, And so anyways, I play it and play. We go going down, Jeff Beck, and kind of
don't stop now.
Yeah, right. I forget who originally wrote that song. What the hell?
Justin knows. He's not listening. He's over there.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's probably doing some technical shit over there fixing me.
But yeah, man. So anyways, so just getting all that done, man, and it's just insane. And so we would do that every single week, and got to play with John Moffat, whose name is Sugarfoot, who was Michael Jackson's drummer. And
Michael Jackson's drummer.
He's for past 30 years.
So you're 2 degrees from Michael Jackson.
Kind of. Well, this is after he died, though. But it's insane. And I got to play Superstition with John Moffat, and he's a good friend now. And met him and talked to him and hung out with him. And the bass player for Quiet Riot played bass. And I mean, it's like I said, every time we get to play anywhere or anything with Doug or some kind of jam like that, it's always somebody from, an amazing band, huge band that everybody and their mom knows about, And
I want you to keep going with that, but I just in the everyday GSD world, which
sure.
You're fucking blowing my mind because I feel like I've known you forever, and now we're talking. I feel like I don't even fucking know you. And I know how talented you are, but in the everyday GSD world, so you're playing the music, you're marketing your music, you're
trying to at least
you're booking your own gigs, like you're doing everything.
Everything, yeah.
You're this. I don't want to say solo operator, but the solo operator,
smooth operator. No, that's fine. No,
it's wild.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, I'm just,
And you've had the opportunity to play with clearly some extremely talented individuals.
Yeah.
Which therefore, proof is in the pudding. I mean, I've heard you play, I've seen you play, but you're on stage with these people that everyone knows is talented.
Sure.
And you're up there jamming. So you're one of those motherfucking extremely talented individuals that GSDs every single day.
Thanks, man.
Wow.
I'm trying to and support my family at the same time from the music, doing it too,
Right. And that's tough. That's a tough business, right?
Well, it in this market it is.
Yeah.
Because if I hear Brown Eyed Girl one more fucking time, I'm just gonna
look at his face.
You and me both.
Oh my God. Or Sweet Caroline or anything like that, man. I need some original shit. I need something that's gonna something I've never heard before that blows my fucking mind. You know what I mean? And I want somebody to have the passion and the balls to fucking do it, not do what you're told. Meaning okay, bar says you gotta play top 40, my ass. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I got in as far as locally here, being a kind of a teenager, going, okay, I have my own original music that sounds like this. And go, no, we need this song. And I finally just was like, sure, I'll play it. I get up there and then I'd never fucking play it. And I'd just get up there and just do the song, because I knew not to sound like this, but I knew everybody would like it, and I knew everybody would go, I don't know the song, but what the fuck's happening at the moment? You know what I mean? Especially,
and when you say you don't want to play fucking Brown Eyed Girl.
Oh, hell no.
Because you write your own music.
Yes.
And let's talk about that real quick. So you're going to be releasing a song starting, I've got it written down, March 27th. March 27th will be the first release of one song.
Yep.
And you're having a big party too.
Yeah.
Downtown.
Yeah, Skyline Club.
Which is super fucking cool spot.
It is.
Kudos for you for able to even be able to book that.
Thanks so much.
So, but talk to me about that. So you're going to be releasing a song, is it once a week?
Yeah, up until either May 29th or June 5th, I believe is the next week after that. But when it comes back to so your favorite HBO, Netflix, Hulu, whatever program you watch.
Everyone listening knows what you're talking about.
Right. So every time they have a new episode, it's once a week. Nobody just drops the whole season. So my mentality is, okay, now that we're in this modern day world to where people just only buy singles, or they only buy what's given to them practically, you know what I mean? As far as just one song per song, whatever, and everybody just goes and buys the song they like, not, oh, I'm going to go buy the whole record and support them. And they're like, no, fuck that. I'm just going to this is my workout song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, right.
And,
I got you.
And so my mentality with this is, okay, well, I'm just going to kind of leave a breadcrumb trail, or the little pieces of candy that the kid follows you with,
Yeah.
And so
into the white van.
And oh God,
you said it, man.
I did.
You
I mean,
said it.
if they got a bag of chips in there, no, but so, and by the way, the song I'm releasing has zero guitar in it. Zero.
No way.
No, zero guitar.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard you play without a guitar.
It's called Playing With Myself. No, I'm just kidding. No,
honestly, Justin, have you?
No.
So I play piano, bass, ukulele, anything with strings on it practically, and I sing, produce, and can mix, engineer as well. And so,
market and book.
trying.
Yeah, right? This
But
is some everyday GSD shit right here.
And so I wrote a pop song practically, and it's straight up. It's when you hear it, it's the music video for this is going to be borderline it's very sensual, so it's very romantic. It's gonna be kind of borderline like soft porn in a way. But no, because once you hear it, you'll understand by the words and the music and the piano and the very, sensual elements of it, man. And I love, like I said, I love fucking, all the way from, Rob Zombie to Baby Shark, man. Try me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I love Sade Smooth because I grew up learning all that music before
Did
I
you
went
play
out.
with Rob Zombie?
No, I didn't. But I met John Five, who's his guitar player, and Barry Pointer, who I swear to God does his production engineering, and now John Five's on tour with Motley Crue, and with Def Leppard, man. And
Did you open for Motley Crue? Yeah, Justin opened.
did you really? Nice. That's amazing. Damn, that's badass. Right
Wait, one
there.
day we're gonna have fucking Justin on this show, and all the listeners are gonna go,
Oh yeah,
"What the fuck?"
yeah. Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. Get to know him while you can before you can.
Before you can't. It's too late, man. It's too late.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. I forgot the fuck what I was saying.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's been a huge blessing now, man.
Oh no,
Everything.
back up to how you're releasing one song.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Tangent. But so I'm just gonna do one song a week, just like one episode a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
this is where are these being released?
just iTunes, Spotify,
Okay. Same. The music platforms.
Music platform,
Okay.
yeah, YouTube. I really want to do a music video for it, so I want to try to do a fundraiser or something to where I can have Sebastian Paquette and Allison Roberto do another music video, who did my first two music videos on YouTube. And Sebastian does the heavy rock band Korn's music videos, and Jonathan Davis, his solo project, KXM, which is George Lynch, Ray Luzier, and Doug Pinnick. And I got to be part of those music videos, et cetera, too. But I want to be, I want them to do it because they have Sebastian and Allison Roberto has been, the MTV creative director for a long time, and did the show on Netflix a while ago called 13 Reasons Why. And she's an amazing director as well. And they both work together just fantastically. And I just know they would do this music video justice, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to just do it with anybody here and going, well, I'll give you a couple $100 and my Uncle Daryl can do it.
Yeah. Well, Clark's got an amazing studio.
I know, I've been there, yeah.
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 Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You were on Legends.
Yes, yeah.
Or soon to be Legends.
Yes, yeah. And but something about that
Yeah. No, I get it.
the way that Sebastian and Allison work are just amazing. And JBL sponsored that music video too by giving me that entire gigantic room, their headquarters. That was shot at their headquarters in Los Angeles, California, at the Harman Kardon gigantic, huge fucking production center practically, where they have huge parties for Snoop Dogg or George Clinton, P Funk, and all these guys, and which are I love you, Becky. Thank you for. Shout out to Becky Barabas, who is my girl at Harman Kardon, who sponsored me through the Jimi Hendrix project with Doug, Mike Hansen, and Reinhold, and Spacey T, and everybody. So yeah, man. And
I don't even know how he remembers all these names.
Just sometimes honestly, I think about it too and go, I think about it too. I go, damn, I can't remember my own name some fucking times, but I can spat out what I did, what they did and who they worked with, and et cetera, just because of how much respect and appreciation and how grateful I am, and how humbling it is to be a part of anybody's life like that, you know what I mean, and be here with you guys, and that's what I'm all about, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you for sure, man. So you get up in the morning, and what makes you everyday GSD? What makes you?
I stay up all night until the morning.
Yeah,
and then I'll sleep all day. No, literally, no. I either get up in the morning or stay up all night working on a project or a song to where I go, if I walk away from this right now and I try to come back the next day, it'll be gone. Right. You got to capture the moment. You have to. If you have a certain idea, you got to go for it in that moment. Otherwise, if you wait and pause, you know what I mean? It's like water. It just dries up and it's gone, and you can't get that back. So
where did you get that discipline from?
Shit. Honestly, just shit. I've never really thought about that. Mic drop. No. Yeah. Wow. But honestly, working with Doug and
mentors.
Yeah, exactly. Mentors and people and just great men I've had in my life too, that kind of just not even about music, but just work ethic in general, and being a stand-up person and doing what you say and say what you're doing, and when it comes to music or whatever, and being coming home for my kids, you know what I mean, because I had my first son when I was 21, and came home from Los Angeles. And I said, you know what, I'm not gonna leave my family high and dry. I'm gonna go do this and work back and forth, and I did, and I still am.
So you still go back and forth to California?
Yeah. For the NAMM show and for whatever shows are going out there or whatever opportunity would present itself, or anywhere really.
Right. When's the last time you were out there working on a project? Well, I guess COVID kind of fucked everything up for a while.
I was gonna say before the pandemic. We won't go down that road either, but
that's another podcast.
Oh my god. But yeah, man. So 2019, I think, was the last time I was out there. 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
I miss it. Oh my God, do I miss it? There's just a certain. You've been to Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, bro.
I was about to say, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's something when your feet touch the ground on that, you know what I mean, on that pavement. When you first walk out of LAX or Burbank or wherever you're at, it's just something different in the air.
And then you got to step over the human shit and the fucking homeless.
Well, that too.
Just kidding.
No.
Well, I'm not kidding, but yeah.
It's part of it. That's definitely part of it.
It's gotten a lot worse. Let's just put it that way. How about that?
Fucking crazy.
Yeah. That's a whole nother show. I won't go down that road
God.
because Justin will be over there shaking his head. He goes, Darin, you just took that down a fucking a rabbit hole or some shit.
But it's beautiful there, man.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
There's something about the West Coast that I'm just drawn to.
Right.
Absolutely.
So what are you got this project right now? You're gonna be releasing one a week. It's gonna be on all the platforms.
Yeah.
And what is it called? Is there a name for the whole thing or no?
I don't know yet. I kind of have
It's coming up soon, man. Because obviously, we pre-record these, but your first one's gonna be released on the 27th.
Yeah, which is
your birthday.
Which will be my 27th birthday, and that day will be on Fox 59 that day too, promoting the next song.
And this episode will be released on March 15th, which is very soon from now. So we kind of shuffled some things around. We're excited about that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Okay, I want to hear more.
Shit.
He's like, I told you everything, Darin.
No.
I told you everything.
Yeah, Rain would be the first song. Second song. I'm still... they're all ready to go. I just have to press a button and I'll release it. But I'm trying to make sense because I have a rock record. I have 60-some songs. I could release over a whole year worth of music if I really wanted to. But I don't think it'll make sense because one's a pop song, one's a slipper like fucking Linkin Park headbanging song, one's a blues song, one's different albums worth of material, And so I'm trying to make it make sense to where... And a friend of mine, Josh Vidic, told me this, who's a great PR guy and great friend of mine. He goes, it's fucking music. Don't make it so complicated. Just release it how it is and just do it. And I love that. Just like, GSD, man, just fucking do it. Go and do it, just release it. Who cares what people think? It's music. It's art. Who cares? Don't pigeonhole yourself practically, And that kind of made me think differently too. But from a record label standpoint, though, I'm thinking, okay, what do you want to be? Rock, pop, blues, whatever, And I kind of always think back to John Mayer because he's got a great blues record, he's got a great pop record, he's got a great R&B kind of styled record, he has a fucking country record out, in Americana, and that kind of sets the bar for me. Going, if he can do it, watch me,
right?
And
you're young,
yeah.
You're pumping out babies like a madman, but you're young.
Something.
Speaking of that, I heard about an announcement maybe at the end of the show.
Yes, maybe. Yeah, I don't know,
yeah. I feel like I just got an announcement from you recently. Maybe time does move pretty quick.
It does. I know.
So you're having another baby?
I am.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much.
We'll have to find more events for you to play at here in Indiana so you don't leave us.
Please, no, I'm just not.
Yeah, please. He's like, and I know you enjoy the VFW and you do it.
I love it.
Very, very pro bono type pay, but I
love them.
Yeah, but we need to get you some real money coming in.
I'm also doing some very big festivals this summer too.
Okay,
Rev Indie.
Rev, you're doing Rev?
Yeah.
Can you get me tickets?
I might be able to. I think so. I think I get I don't know. I might.
Yeah.
I might be able to.
Those are really hard fucking tickets.
They're
to get,
really hard to get, man. They're
Yeah.
fucking hard to get.
Yeah.
It's like Zubilation.
Yeah.
Same shit,
Sure.
man. It's
Yeah.
And Kelly Anderson, who does my apparel from 185 Productions,
Sure.
she always would get me tickets for Zubilation. And thank you, Kelly, if you're listening to this. But one day I was like, I want to go to Rev. And then John was like, how do you get tickets? I was like, just go online and buy them. Fucking sold out like a minute
Instantly,
after they, I'm like, who do I know that can get me tickets at Rev?
Yeah.
But everyone's calling you, right?
Yeah.
Like, Darin, get me tickets.
They're
to Rev.
asking me for tickets. I'm like, I don't have tickets.
That's awesome, man.
So you're playing at Rev.
Yeah,
So I'm going to
yeah,
Rev. Justin,
Rev.
we're going to Rev. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll do
man.
a podcast at Rev.
That'd be badass. That'd be seriously badass.
Yeah.
Do a podcast there. Or,
Yeah.
I mean, we should actually buy a table and do a podcast at our table.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to be part of the special operations event that's coming here in May. We're going to be doing a live, well, not live. We're going to be recording a bunch of podcasts there
Sure.
with a bunch of former Green Berets from all age groups. So
Wow.
that's going to be badass.
I couldn't imagine those stories and that coming out of that.
I'm really excited
Oh, my
about
gosh.
that. That's in May. We'll start recording in May, and that they'll have to get obviously released.
Sure.
But we're super excited about that. But Rev, you got me thinking now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Justin's over there making notes. He's like,
Seriously.
"We got this."
Yeah, I'll hit my guy and say, "Hey, man, I got a big favor that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
It'll help everybody out."
Yeah.
Rev Carmel Fest.
Oh, you're playing at Carmel Fest too. Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know which stage yet, but just got ding.
Okay.
Confirmed for it. And
So do you know Blair Clark?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Has he been on your show?
No, he hasn't. You know, he's a veteran, former Army guy.
I did not know that.
Yeah, great guy. Great guy.
He is.
Yeah,
He's a great friend.
Yeah, and he's a good musician, man. He's like
Yes, he is.
good vocalist.
Yeah. And piano player too, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's great. He's badass, man. He's badass. And then Salute Fest, which is like you salute like a former or not a former, but like a it sounds like a military thing, but it's not. It's for artists. It's like, you know, like Amy Winehouse or Kurt Cobain or people that died. But when they say Salute Fest, I always think it's like
salute to, yeah, right.
You know,
yeah,
but it's like a salute to, you know, the previous artist.
musician. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I think there's one more that I can't remember right now that I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but I don't remember. Shit, I'm sorry.
That's all right. We'll just sit here in silence until you figure it out.
There you go. Oh yeah, all right.
Just kidding. So what's your goals in your career that because I mean you've been smashing this shit for a while.
Sure.
You started very young.
Yeah.
Your father passed away. You got this guitar, and you know then you found God.
Yeah.
Or God found you, and you saw your dad, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking crush this.
Absolutely.
So what keeps you going, and then what are your goals for the future for the listeners that want to follow in your footsteps?
I'll tell you what, man, some of the greatest music I've ever written is because of my children and the feeling of knowing I'm going to have children. And, you know, think about how some people try their whole life just to have one, and here I am about to have 4, and what a blessing that is too. And yes, it's overwhelming, but you know what? A diamond can't form without an immense amount of pressure, man. And so some of the best things in my life have ever come out of that. And that's what keeps me going. And my mom and my family and, you know, shit, my fucking dad's family are practically all dead other than my sisters and, you know, nieces, and that's literally it. So, you know, my mom has been my rock, but, you know, my kids really are what keep me going. And anytime I feel uninspired, unmotivated, depressed, and my wife and just being supported and, you know, their dream as big as, let me rephrase this. My dream is their dream as big as it is mine. Does that make sense? My dream of making it, and it's not about money and being fame and all that bullshit. I just want my kids to be taken care of financially, and, you know, I just don't want them going through anything my mom and I had to go through, and when my dad passed. So I'm like, that's a number one thing with my music I want to see the world, travel, and give them a great life, and et cetera. But I just want to make sure that, you know, the purpose and the reason behind it is not for bullshit. It's for substance. It's for them. It's so that they have a life that, you know, one day when I'm, you know, gone or whatever can happen to me, because tomorrow's not fucking promised. So
Tomorrow's not fucking promised.
Not at all. You know what I mean? And so, you know, finding out like the hard way, you know, to work my ass off every single day, get shit done, write great music, not to write great music, but to have experiences of, you know, your life that have made you who you are, into this music, into different things that people can relate to where it gets them through their day. And people come up to me going, oh man, one more story. Oh, this is gonna make me cry probably. Ooh, okay.
Oh, you're allowed to cry. We've had people cry
man.
on the show.
Oh man, I just remembered. Okay,
And
so
you were just closing it out good, man. I was getting ready to give you a little gift. But I want to see.
one more thing.
I want to see you cry.
Oh man. Okay, so this is gonna fuck me up. Okay, so I'm gonna drink this real quick.
This is what do you call this? Is the punchline?
I do just a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh shit, Darin's been getting after it, hasn't he?
It's all right. So
Here we go. Tommy's back.
all right, so this I will never forget this, man. And this is like, okay, this is one of these bars where you're like, what the fuck am I doing here? And everybody comes up, what are you doing here, etc. Here's what I'm doing here. I'm at a place called Joe's Grill in Fishers at 116th and Oleo Road. Everybody has had a story in fucking Joe's. Any of them, whatever, you know. Shout out to Ryan Miller and Ryan Alley, all those guys. Thanks for having me every second Friday of every month, by the way. So we're playing there, and this is like the first set, kind of dead, and this guy is just kind of sitting in the corner by himself, not looking too happy. And so, and like for some reason, my energy is just like drawn to him, like uncontrollably. I'm like, you know, because I really, you know, I feel people, I can read them, I don't know, it's weird. So anyways, so we're playing, and you know, I can kind of see him. Like the first time I looked at him, he's like looking over, like just blank, gray, gone. And so we're playing our set again. You know, 25 minutes later go by, and then he's got a drink in his hand. He's still kind of sitting there, and he's kind of rocking back and forth a little bit. More people are coming in, and then we start to really get going. And so then he's kind of watching us, and he's kind of turned over, and he's probably 5 or 6 years older than me. I mean, honestly. And then by the end of the first set, he's like really kind of came alive. He's kind of talking to the people now around him, and like kind of being interactive, and et cetera, et cetera. And so on my break, you know, I kind of walk by him, and he doesn't really say anything to me, but I can tell he like kind of looks at me or whatever. And so I just held back. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say anything. And so go back up on stage, whatever, start playing again for another hour. And by the end of it, we've got the guitar behind my head, you know, walking out.
Yeah.
And always by the end, I always have the bartender give me a shot of tequila when I'm playing behind my head to do it. And so, by the end of this whole thing, he's standing up with the whole crowd that are all around us, and like everybody's like partying and just having a blast, and they're having so much fucking fun. And this is where it gets me. And so when we kill or whatever, we end the song and you know, get done. And so I'm starting to, everybody's coming up going, hey, you know, great job, et cetera, killed it. And so he was like the last person that I talked to in the line, or whatever, because he's like me. He just waits back and kind of is like, you know, if it's appropriate, I'll say something. If not, then I'll just kind of walk away. So he comes up to me and he says, when I got here tonight, he goes, when I got here tonight, I was going to slam as much as I could and go home and kill myself. But your music and what you played and how I saw you, like, transform the whole room, and like you made me happy again. You made me feel something for the first time in a long time. And I just sat there and gave him the biggest fucking hug in the world. And I was like, thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for being here, you know. And so, like, by the end of that, I was like, oh my God, man. Like, I literally saved somebody's life tonight through music. You know what I mean? And I will never forget that for the rest of my life, man. And that made me go, that's how powerful music is. Because I said, you know, I could have walked up and said whatever to him, but literally the music spoke for itself, and the blues and the relation and the camaraderie and the love and you know, just the whole room, you know. And he said, I was literally going to go home and fucking kill myself, but you gave me one more day. And I was like, oh my God, man. So yeah, so that is a huge testimony in the music. And I was like, bring it on, you know, man. That made me take nowhere for granted, whether it's Joe's Grill or wherever, man, on the fucking side of the, you know, pub outside in Brockway or whatever. I don't even know, you know, I don't even know what example, but that changed that changed me going, you might, you know, never take any gig or anywhere for granted, because you might be saving somebody's life, man. And it did. And it woke my ass up.
That's amazing. Justin.
I've never seen everyone in the room cry.
Yeah. These are happy tears. What the fuck? That's deep, bro. And that's amazing. And you know what? You touch so many people's lives, but this individual shared it with you, and you saved their life.
I gave him the biggest hug.
I don't even know how to end this show right now. Like I got normally a little thing I do, but no, brother, I appreciate you saying you had one more story to share because that's fucking rich. And I say that in a very positive way. That's solid. You've been a true everyday GSD person since I met you.
Thank you, bro.
And I appreciate your talents and your generosity where you give back in the community. You help veterans. You help people in need. And you don't turn down gigs because they're beneath you,
sure.
quote unquote. So I do have a little gift for you, a little GSD hat.
Thank you
because
so
you are
much,
an everyday
man.
GSD guy.
Thank you, brother. Look
right
at that.
here. This is part of the new swag.
I love it.
Right here. And I also have you.
Thank you so
I know
much,
you
man.
said you like green, so this
Love
is the
green.
G.I. Joe green, red, white, and blue everyday GSD shirt. There's not a lot of these out there, but I've got this one for you
Thank you so much, bro.
right here. And I want to really thank you for being on the show. I'm excited. I'm super excited to hear your songs start coming out. Again, March 27th, which is the first release of your episodes,
Yeah.
as we'll call them,
Sure.
for lack of a better word.
I love it.
And obviously, you already mentioned you play at Joe's Grill every other Saturday,
Friday.
every other Friday.
Every second Friday of every month.
And if you want to come and support veterans, I can promise you this summer you will have him at the VFW Post 10003 in Carmel, Indiana,
Yeah.
where he will be rocking it out on a new deck that we have being built as we speak.
Yeah.
And Tommy fucking brings the crowd, brings the jams, and he's just a good human. Tommy, thank you for being an everyday GSD man. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for being on the
Love you,
show.
bro. Thank you so much for having me.